Okay, hello. This is just a conversation between me and Val about the legal person. And what sparked it is a video from, with between Paul Unslaved and Brian Young, who goes by his YouTube channel is High Impact Flicks, is his primary one. And I forgot his other channel. That's got more of this stuff on it. Did you remember the name of it yet? Okay,
No,
I
I
could bring
wish
it.
you'd have.
Yeah, I could bring it up on my other YouTube. I don't want to right now, but oh dang, it's 3 words. Anyway, not important. But I've got up the interview here, and honestly, I didn't watch. I know a lot about this topic, so I didn't bother to watch. I'm not going to learn anything really because I'm in like this.
Yeah.
I'm in this like over 10 years. Um, but I linked it to Val. She watched it. She went back and watched Paul's like famous pullover video.
Yeah, where nothing happens to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
because he's fully in the right as a man.
Valerie, yeah. So Val's learning, catching her up to speed on this, and she's like a hardcore, uh, stick to truth
Yeah.
kind of.
And I truly
Person.
think this has to be one of the most important topics today, based on the fact that I feel as if we are enslaved as free man and women on this earth. We're enslaved and by these evil corporations, and people need to wake up and realize that they don't have to be.
Well, much like I've heard someone say in the past that it was actually the Israelites that put themselves into slavery in Egypt voluntarily because then they got somewhere to live and they got whatever the farmland, whatever, however it was. I don't know a lot of the details. That's how I see most of us in America is like we're voluntarily putting ourselves under these contracts
Just because it's easier.
Well, by this time, it is a certain momentum. There's a trajectory of like, oh, you're 15 and a half. Your school is just going to put up a bulletin board about, oh, here's the driver's ed class.
Yeah.
You just contact them and do what everyone else has been doing for decades.
Yeah.
So there's a certain trajectory of people just going along.
Well,
But
of course.
we, truth being objective and absolute, we always must rubber band snap back to it whenever possible,
Yeah.
especially when we start to feel the pain of our subjective wrongs that we are now living in.
Well, that's the problem with this world right now, that everyone thinks that they're living in their own truth. It's been a lie being told to us constantly.
I have like a burning hatred, that righteous fury when I hear someone say my truth.
Yeah. Because that's the utmost lie.
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah. Because there's one truth.
There's one truth. Truth is an absolute, something that is just plain right and correct.
Mm-hmm.
An event that did happen, something that is objectively beneficial instead of harmful.
Yeah.
Um,
There's black and white. There's no gray area. And I feel like our world now just lives in a solid gray zone of, oh, whatever your truth is, whatever you want to believe in, you can make it happen.
Yeah. And in certain or most or all areas, there is a truth.
Yeah.
A correct answer. Something that is right and something that is wrong.
There's going towards the light and there's going towards the dark.
Yeah, it plays into the whole
spirituality.
Duality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now, aside from this rant, is a couple of years ago, I made this, which is just a one-page Google Doc, made to open the eyes of the completely asleep, focusing on Wisconsin, specifically, you could say, state of Wisconsin in this case, which is a registered corporation.
Yeah.
State. What is it? It's state of Wisconsin. The state of whatever. Those are businesses
Mm-hmm.
for profit, and the people are not partaking of the profits.
Yeah, it's not the land.
Yeah, and then there's Wisconsin state, which is the republic, basically a sovereign nation state.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so when I'm saying, when I'm pointing out these Wisconsin statutes, these are state of Wisconsin things out of their rule book, basically. Like if you're working at a retail store and there's rules for the managers and employees, and
Like codes of conduct almost too.
there's you said it, yeah, the word code.
Yeah.
These are codes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just starting off, most of the states, corporate states, have a definitions section. And what must you first do before you can have any conversation? Define terms,
Correct. Yeah.
or you're not standing on the same foundation. So, of course, what I'm talking about here is person. And the Chapter 990 in Wisconsin statutes, the revised statutes as the police worship.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit a cop with a definition, they're gonna ignore you unless it's in the Wisconsin. They're gonna go on their rampage about it. It has to,
Because that's what they follow.
they follow
Mm-hmm.
their own definitions. I've talked to them face to face,
Mm-hmm.
and they are insane about it.
Yep.
So that's why I have this doc that's just copying and pasting out of their holy book.
Yeah.
Okay. So person includes all partnerships, associations, and bodies, politic or corporate. Okay. Now, there's no man or woman in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even the word human
Mm-hmm.
in there, and that's a whole
That's a whole other definition.
that's a whole other video we're going to get into
Yeah.
in the future. So your normal plebeian is going to be knee jerking at this point and saying, "Oh, but everyone just knows that it's included, so it doesn't even have to be in the definition." Oh, but wait,
You have to play by their book.
you are incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have this here. So it's common to have these Latin phrases to sum up a concept in the legal system. And I don't want to pronounce that, but it's something like expressio udius est exclusio alterius.
Good job.
Expression of one thing is the exclusion of another. In other words, if it's not in the list, it's not included.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, in context of the conversation, a man or woman is not a person.
It is actually excluded.
It is excluded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just keep that in your mind. And also, just pointing out something obvious. Now, this is just me writing this sentence here. When a word is defined in the statutes, the meaning of that word is construed only as defined. So if person, according to Wisconsin, said person includes purple elephants, all partnerships, associations, and bodies, politic or corporate, no matter what, purple elephants are considered person.
Yeah.
According to the internal consideration for the internal workings of Wisconsin.
Their codes, yeah.
So in other words, no matter what you think, it doesn't matter. Only what is here matters, period.
Mm-hmm.
These letters of the law matter, and that is it, period. Okay? Now let's just keep on building on that. Well, actually, that wasn't me. That was just a summary I gave. It actually is right here. Yeah. So right in Chapter 990, the definition section. I wrote this like 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm kind of remembering what I wrote here. So it does say, unless it's indicated, the word is to be construed as defined.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's continue. words and phrases defined are used in the same sense. Yeah, exactly. So the words are to be used only as they are defined. Yep, no external meaning of the word applies
Mm-hmm.
to the use of that word in the statutes. Okay, so really beating the heck out of this principle. All right, now let's get into some interesting things here. It's like actual things that people believe apply to them. Believe, again, belief is a synonym for faith. Faith is a thing you require when there's no evidence.
Yep.
So people believe, it's their religion. They worship the state mostly.
Yeah.
That these Satanists in uniform have power over them in some way. Okay. So police can only arrest persons. A law enforcement officer may arrest a person when blah blah blah. There's a warrant, reasonable grounds, felony warrants. Yeah. All the things you'd expect. Nowhere in the Wisconsin statutes does it say a police is able to arrest a man.
Not lawfully.
No.
Not
It's
legally.
just not mentioned at all. All I'm saying is it's not there.
Yeah. And all I'm going to point out is that they can choose to do whatever the heck they want.
Actually, let me correct you. If they are doing that, they are acting outside of their job.
Yes.
So that man then, behind that Satanist uniform, is acting as a man.
Which he could be prosecuted for if you wanted to take it to
happened.
the Supreme Court.
And that's another whole topic.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not many courts left for men.
Yeah.
On Earth. Okay. Now, if you go and Google search Charlie Sprinkle, that's a kind of a name lost to history because he's from like 30 plus years ago. So here's a guy in California that was one of the pioneers of this area, kind of like the Jordan Maxwell of truth, but Charlie Sprinkle was like that, but for the person and right to travel in a automobile.
Yeah.
So he was in California driving around in his car and got pulled over. No license plates. And he just said, not required, just traveling, not a person. I don't think he was so hard on the person topic at that point. I think this is a grander revelation.
Okay.
Available to man in general. But he did like 5 years in and out of federal court. He sued the police officer, the precinct, his wife even, because she was benefiting from his work as, committing these crimes. So yeah, he won everything. And then after that, for decades, he would see a cop and he would just go pedal to the metal, 110, 120 miles an hour, just, fuck you assholes. And they knew not to touch him. The whole region of California.
They didn't want to get sued again.
Well, and he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are driving
recklessly,
yeah, that's not good.
No, but you should try to do no harm.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The natural law.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's keep on topic here. So, yeah, police can only arrest persons.
Okay.
And then specifically under these conditions. Not a man, ever. Okay. So just like a regional manager can only reprimand an employee working far underneath him.
Yeah.
A police officer cannot touch a man. What I mean is a regional manager of Best Buy cannot go and get some low-level grunt over at like Whole Foods and like give them some kind of demerits for their performance.
Correct.
They can't like make them dock pay and
Mhm.
whatever. The line of jurisdiction is absolute there.
Yeah.
Like you've got your area that you're over
Mhm.
contractually
Yes.
with people that are underneath you. And over here is a whole separate playpen.
Yeah, so this whole section plays into the who are you question.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that matters.
And all they're reaching for is for you to say your legal person's name.
Yeah.
So that they can contract with you.
Yeah. And then I've just got the same thing here really for going over that, just like police can only arrest persons, so to do traffic rules only apply to persons. I mean, it literally says here, no person, including a personal delivery device operator, shall fail or refuse to comply with any lawful order, signal, or direction of a traffic officer. So if there's a traffic officer and you're just a man traveling in your car, you can, I mean, technically you can literally ignore him if you believe that what he's trying to get you to do is either unsafe or not needed.
Mm-hmm.
For example, to use an extreme example, say you've got a 4-way stop and they're having to like manually like hand direct traffic. If there's no reason, obviously, like you can see a mile in every direction and he's trying to get you to stop, you can just ignore him.
Well, what comes to mind for
Not
me?
Not a person though. A person has to listen to him to do whatever.
What comes to mind for me is like those DUI checkpoints that they want to just stop everyone.
Yeah.
And check your license, your registration, everything like that.
Yep.
For absolutely no reason.
And people all get insane about that. Anyone that's got a hint of truth in them is like, this is absurd.
Yes.
You can't do this.
Yes.
No. I'm telling you that they can do anything they want to persons.
Yeah.
They can say, we're coming door to door and we're going to do a bend over cavity search of anyone over 12.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do. They can say you can, like, no person shall ever purchase a gun ever again.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that. Persons are their slaves.
Yeah.
This is the
and that's
ultimate.
what we'll slowly get into.
Yeah. This is going to be a series of videos because this is the only thing that matters.
This is the only thing that matters.
All these people, hundreds and hundreds of people talking about this code and this court opinion tells me I can travel this 200-year-old Chicago right to travel case. No. It's all mostly of that is still within their system.
Yeah.
And it's just like fragments of truth just leaking out, but people are still thinking they're a person and all the state stuff still applies to them.
Yeah.
And just because there's this one little fragment of truth that leaked out as a court opinion or whatever, like 150 years ago in this one city in a state that you don't even live in, that all of a sudden you're free and you can just, I'm a sovereign citizen and you can't. No. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all gonna get you trapped and confused and
playing their game.
You're going to the closet, you're pulling out the Monopoly board, you're asking the banker for your initial money, you're rolling the dice, picking up the yellow and orange cards, playing by their game, and you find yourself in jail.
Yeah. Randomly.
That's why the Monopoly's got the one random go to jail card, because that's like life.
Yeah. And for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail.
Yeah. Doesn't even give a reason, right? That's much what
that's life.
Like if you're a person, that's life. Because the system can do things to persons at will. Okay.
They just don't. I feel like they don't go that far because they don't want a huge uprising of people finally waking up to what they're actually doing.
If
So they're slowly taking people's rights away.
If the frogs get turned, the water gets turned up too fast,
Yep.
all the frogs are going to jump out.
Yep.
Okay.
Red alert.
So right now we're at 1 degree before boiling point.
I feel like we are, yeah.
And someone who's sensitive and thinking.
A lot more people are jumping out of that pot.
We've seen this decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But and when we're far outside the pot, just looking at all these fucking idiot frogs still sitting there.
Yeah.
And the bubbles are starting to come up on the bottom of the steel pot. Okay, and they're still sitting in the water.
Yeah.
Getting burned. About to die. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about persons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why me and Val started this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
To wake you the fuck up.
Yep.
There's nothing else beyond this. You know, there's like the people say they started to awake with 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's oftentimes the start of someone's waking up.
Yeah.
This is the end. This is Bowser. This is the final boss on the final world.
Yeah.
There's nothing beyond the person, period. Never will be. This is the final frontier of truth. Nothing can ever go beyond this. So on my personal journey of truth, it's been like, I know I mentioned this a couple videos ago, but you find some interesting area. It's like, whoa, mind blown. And then months go by and you kind of like wind down on that topic, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, Tesla or poisonous food.
Just whatever it is at
all
the
this
time.
stuff. Yeah. You go from one thing to another. And when you get to person, you're done. Just letting you know. There's nothing that's going to blow your mind more than the full revelation of knowing that you are not a person. We're about to start experimenting with printing t-shirts with like interesting phrases, like
it's going to involve a lot of this.
Yeah. I think one of them is going to be, I'm not a person.
Yeah.
Just to get people thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you talking?
Exactly.
What are you? Are you an alien or something? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's going to be one of the early t-shirts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, let's stay on track. Let's finish up this doc here. What do we got here? So yeah, just straight out of their documentation. They're straight out of their holy book. No traffic rules apply to persons. You can pause it and read there. And then just other definitions of interest I posted here at the bottom. Of course, this is all straight out of Wisconsin. Operator means a person who drives or is in actual physical control of a vehicle. So again, if any armed robber, police, is yelling at you, you're operating this. No, because operator means a person. Mm-hmm. Again, the person trumps everything.
And vehicle is something that's registered to the state.
There you go.
And you could say you're in an automobile.
That is the correct word.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a automobile dealership. Notice how you can never actually go to a vehicle dealer. They all claim to be automobile dealers. Yeah. Vehicle means every device in, upon, or by which any person or property is or may, so if it's just sitting there and it has the potential to, may be transported or drawn upon a highway, except railroad stuff. So this is why I don't have anything to do with DMV, because, let's look at the meaning of words. What does that stand for? The Department of Motor Vehicle. Yeah. Well, if you don't have a vehicle, you technically cannot do business with DMV.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually called them on the phone and asked about this. I said, well, first of all, I confirmed that they cannot do business with a man. I said, so me, just the man with I think I used when I called them. I think I have a Christian name and a family name. I said, I don't have a first name and a last name, because those are attributes
Of a
of the
person.
legal fiction person. That's not what a man has. A man or woman does not have a first name and last name. Get that through your head.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your last name? I'm not a legal fiction. I don't have a last name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
it's all
I
about
am and I am not acting as authorized agent of any legal fiction right now.
this is all about people knowing their terminology and knowing what they say means something different to these people that are trying to wrap you into their contract.
Yeah,
As long as you don't say contractual words to them, they cannot do anything to you
exactly. They for the most part know.
legally.
For the most part know it.
Yeah. Or lawfully, I should say.
Owner. Here we go. Just simple last thing here. Owner means a person who holds the legal title of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Not someone who has exclusive use of a automobile,
Of their of even just to say of their private
their
property.
own property. Yeah, this is all commerce stuff. So I'll just give my conclusion in this doc. It says if your device, car in which you travel does not and may not transport persons or property, then it does not fall under the definition of vehicle. And if your device is not classified as a vehicle, then it is not possible to register it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
More definitions here. I've got adult, according to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Adult means a person who has attained the age of 18, blah, 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 and so on. So again, person. So, Satanist X is grinding your skull in cement. Are you even an adult? Are you a child? No, I'm neither of those. I'm not an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You have to go this far with your knowledge of who you are. That's all what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Neo in the Oracle's kitchen. Know thyself.
Yep.
Alice in Wonderland. Who are you? Severance, the show we did.
Yeah.
Who are you? Over and over again through the show.
I was just going to say that Alice said in that response, I'm pretty sure she said, I don't know.
Yes.
Because she's been so many things.
Because she's like changed so many times.
Changed so many times, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just interesting that she didn't know who she was.
And then last definition, we don't have to switch over to this. I've just got from the lawdictionary.org, which is Black's Law. Transportation is the removal of goods or persons from one place to another by a carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Someone paid. So, Department of Transportation, DOT. A man cannot do business, cannot do anything with the Department of Transportation or the Department of Motor Vehicle. Cannot, technically impossible.
Mm-hmm.
When you think you're doing so, when people nesciently go and just do what everyone else is doing, they are, at that moment, acting as authorized agent of the silver thimble, the silver boat, the silver dog, the silver car.
Mm-hmm.
You're not you don't own it, but a legal person that you've been told is you, but it's just your silver Monopoly game board piece.
Yeah, that you could possibly be pushing around to make a paycheck.
Yep. It is most of the time people are getting the money is actually going to their silver thimble.
Mm-hmm.
Your bank account is not yours.
Yep.
That's why we hear all these stories around the world of whatever country there multiple times there's been bail-ins where all of a sudden they can't take out their money.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple layers of the reason that is true, but one of them is it's not yours in the first place. It's merely attached to It's not even owned by you. It's owned by the bank, obviously. The account is something just in the bank's computer.
And you've opened the account with your legal person's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no like, it's all caps when you open a bank account.
Yeah. Now, in contrast, if there's a small community of men and women and there's something like a bank where it's like, oh, that guy's got a badass old safe and we're just going to let him hold our
Mhm.
gold. That's he's got the safe. Cool. And all of a sudden it's found out that he took all the gold and buried it somewhere. It's the men and women can go after his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's directly man to man,
Mhm.
handshake, word.
I'm thinking of that movie that's in black and white, and the main character has the angel come to Earth and shows him what his future would be like.
That old movie,
Super
the
old movie.
Christmas movie, Wonderful Life.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
in there,
Oh, that's
he's a part of a bank system. His,
building a loan.
yes, and the evil guy wants
Yep.
to take it over.
Yep.
But I thought it was a great representation of this because when the people freaked out and wanted to take their money out of the bank, he had to explain to them that no, this is for your neighbor. Like it was all a community-based bank, that their money was there for their neighbor when they needed it, but then it would be there for you if you needed it. I think it's just a really good representation of how the banking system should have stayed.
Well, it was almost never really, literally just that. The banking system started off as
Evil.
fake.
Yeah.
It started off as.
I'm saying, okay, that's what it should have been.
It should have. Yeah, it should.
I'm just saying in the movie.
And that's why I used the stupid example of someone that's got a big safe, and we're just.
That's what it reminded me of.
Like that's the most hardcore true bank that you can think of that could exist.
That was like his good, honest bank that he had.
Yeah, except it just was, banking as normal, and it was just.
Hey, the evil banking guy wanted to take it over and give everyone loans and give
Right.
them the fake idea that they had money.
There's a lot of truth drops in that movie.
Yeah.
About how you're never going to win with the banking system at all. Intrinsically, you're at a loss right off the bat as soon as you dip your toes in that water.
Yeah. Even
Yep.
taking a loan out or anything was.
Yep.
You
Because
could see in that movie just how evil it was.
Yep.
They owned you at that point.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'll make sure I have a link to this. I think it's a one pager. I think it prints out on one page. Google Doc. I'll make sure it's public. And put it in the description. And really just want to, yeah. I mean, I didn't watch all of this video. It's, I just through it, listened to the first section, and one last thing I want to warn against is all throughout this video, Brian here of High Impact Flicks, he's like bringing up court opinion, rulings, whatever, from certain states, federal stuff, all over the place. People say that there's all these the Supreme Court decisions of right to travel. Well, if anyone's saying that, they're not awake.
Well, that, and I see it as a worship of the Constitution.
Well, in the state in general.
Yeah.
As giving us rights.
True. Mm-hmm.
No, the baseline is we can do whatever we want as long as it's not harming or stealing from someone else.
The natural law. Yeah.
That's the baseline.
Do no harm.
Yeah. Natural law.
Mm-hmm.
But many people's baseline is exactly what, the opposite of that. They're, what has the state declared that I am allowed to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's most people's baseline. All those idiots in the boiling water, about to be boiling water, about to become the meal for the elite.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of them really think that way still. And that's why.
That's what the problem is.
And it all goes back to, and we have hint after hint in books and movies and TV shows of it all goes back to who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? That's why it's the first 3 words said in that show Severance, which is nothing but a truth drop about this commercial system reality we live in.
Yeah.
Commercial system, slave system.
Yes.
Just go watch Severance. So this is going to be more than just this video. We're going to come at this person topic. We're going to wrap it up now. We're going to come at this person topic from every angle.
Yeah.
Until I can walk around the grocery store and stop someone and have a conversation about, hey, when did you break away from your person slavery? When people are saying, like, when they woke up about 9/11,
Yeah.
like, oh, how long did it take you? Like, oh, most people around like 07 or so. It was like a big wave of Holy Spirit that hit Earth.
Yeah.
That people woke up en masse, it seems. And I want this to be no, scratch that. This is the next big thing. Everyone's always like, man, just hit someone with 9/11 and you'll wake them up. Like we're past that.
Yeah.
The person scam
Hoax.
is the next
It's a lie.
is the next big like worldwide, I'm not gonna say global, worldwide
No.
awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So very, very end game. See, my mind, I'm a software engineer, so I'm gonna go to the root of a problem
Mm-hmm.
as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Everything that's not the root is a waste of your time. So talking about Supreme Court stuff, trying to beg to the state, try to find little examples of where the state kind of messed up and let a man off the hook, or I should say a person off the hook,
Yeah.
and then try to replicate that. You're just out there pulling leaves off of nasty weeds.
Yeah. When you should be following just the full truth.
Go to the root of the problem, go to the absolute truth, and it is the legal person. You are not a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person.
Yep.
Okay, last thing I'll do is, well, no, I'll save it for, let's hit up Black's Law stuff like in another video.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it flat out says a person is not a person just because he's human. It literally says that in Black's Law.
You had me read that a couple weeks back.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? You're
Mhm.
not a person just because you're human.
Yeah, because then you'll see the definition of human. We'll do a lot of those
Yeah.
definitions next time.
Cool. All right, so that's it for this video. Catch you in the next person video.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.